What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Zebec today, ZBCN. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it, my friends. It is the 16th day of September, and here we are, sitting at about $0.0042 right now with 8 hours left in the day. This wonderful day here. It looks like we have found support. We've moved up. We've had a nice little move up, but it did not sustain, did it? That was a pretty big wick to the upside. Some inconsistency here. That's not the fib that I was thinking. Let's see. Let's draw this one. Maybe it's a high to a low here. Is that what it is? No. Maybe it's this low to high here, because it was the golden ratio that we bounced off of. This one here, right? Yeah. Right off the golden ratio. There we go. Golden ratio support came in immaculate. Immaculate support. Moved up. Had the exact reaction that you'd look for, but then it came back. What are you doing? What are you doing to us, man? The fact that you went above the 236 and then came back below does make me think that you could go lower, right? Now, lower than this price, probably. Lower than that low, well, maybe. If we go lower than that low, don't be discouraged. Don't be angsty. It's okay. We could go lower than that low and still be fine. In fact, we could even see prices go below this low and still be fine. But I can't tell you guys how unbelievably confident I am that this low is the low, that we're not going to go below there, okay? And in that same kind of thought, in that same kind of concept, I would think that here we're just forming higher lows. So if we do go lower, I would look for a higher low. Perhaps we find support at the 0.5, where we found support right here before, where we found some turbulence, support here before, little resistance, little support back here in this area. I mean, it's very possible that we do. And that would be at 004. Psychological support at a round number there, 004. It's not really a round number, it's a decimal, but for what we have, it's a round number, right? Let's look at the short-term stuff. Let's see if we can configure this out, and yeah, let's do that. Okay, 1 hour time frame here. Sorry if I sounded distracted. It's because my daughter was out here trying to distract me, I think. 1 hour RSI, looking at this here. I mean, overall, I like it right now. You are in a kind of bullish posturing. We've got higher lows. You've got the higher highs, right? You look like you do want to come down a little bit more, find support, and then maybe run up, get some bearish divergence going, something like that, or maybe get some consistencies like in the RSI, like over bot zone like that. I don't know. Maybe we're starting a whole trend where we're doing stuff like this. That'd be nice. But at the moment, I wouldn't be too surprised if we did see lower prices come in, right? Maybe, or lower readings on this indicator come into like the 43, 45 area. We're very close to that now. We don't have to go too much lower for that to happen. Looking at the stochastics, it would make me think that we go lower. And then also with the fresh cross on the MACD, I would also assume that we go a little bit lower. Relative to this 1 hour time frame, just this relative low to high here, right below the 382. Come down. Yeah, come on down to 00409, 00405, even 004 itself, right there at the 786. Something, anything and everything in between there. Find support and then continue to rally. We look at the 4 hour time frame, and we've got lower highs here, lower lows. It's not the most ideal look on the 4 hour RSI. Why? I'm tired of these RSIs on the 1 hour looking good and then the 4 hour looks sad, right? I'm not too fond of this structure, this shape here, but it can change. It can definitely change. You're getting overbought. You're not getting oversold, which that's nice to see, right? I very much don't believe that we go below that low. It's possible, and if we go below 0035, we'd go to 003, 00309, something in that area, right? We know this, but I highly doubt that that's what we're going to do. Stochastics look momentarily bearish, suggesting that we do go a little bit lower. MACD is, who cares? It's neutral. It's really, I mean, like, yeah, it's bullish right now, but it's really neutral. It's neutral overall. I suppose overall it's bullish right here, right? But right now it's just neutral. I don't really care. It's on the 4 hour time frame. It's not going to matter as much. And these candles certainly look like they want blood. So a little bit lower would make sense. Something around 004. Something around these lows, but higher than this low is what I would look for. Okay. That's my thoughts. Because look at what we did here. We did a total psyop on the market here. We had a low, a higher low, higher low. We finally got our lower low, and as soon as you got the lower low, boom, fantastic reaction, which again, that lower low was right at your golden ratio, right there. It was right there. Oh, I don't know, man. I don't think we're going below this low. So in which case, in any kind of classic fib structure where you do see some volatility, you typically find support at the 382 or at the 0.5, or maybe somewhere in between, but more specifically at these levels when it comes to support. So 00415 to 00402, something in that area, yeah? That's what I'm thinking is going to happen. Zebec tomorrow on the 17th, they're doing a panel with Assure and Turnkey at 1:30 p.m., 2:30 p.m. UK, 1:30 Eastern time. That would be, what would that be? That would be like 3 hours before the end of the day. That's nice. It's nice that they're doing that after the FOMC meeting, not during the FOMC meeting, right? When is, by the way, RIP to Robert Redford. Whether you liked him or not, it's just he's another famous, very famous and well-known person that died, and that's, at least he died at 89 and wasn't brutally murdered like some people were. Rest in peace, Charlie Kirk as well. Man, I challenge anybody to go say rest in peace, Robert Redford, and tell me if you get any backlash, right? How dare you? How dare you post about this and not post about the children in Gaza? Nobody's going to say that, right? Just showing you that they don't actually care. It's all just political BS. That's all it is, right? I don't know, man. I'm not going to get into it too much, but it's somebody was telling me on X, I forget who it was, I give you a shout out, but they were saying that this is making them lose their faith in humanity. It's made me regain faith in humanity. I mean, I'm the faithful type of person. I'm the hopeful type of person for humanity. A lot of people think that we're a cancer. I don't. I think that we're just a stray. I think that we're meant to help this world. We're the only types of beings that can like help a animal who's broken a limb fix that limb, and then they can run around again one day and be free, right? Or a bird that's got injured, we can nurse it back to health, and then it can fly away and be free. No other animals can do that. I think we're meant to take care of this planet. We're not meant to be a cancer to this planet. So saying that we're a cancer, I think, is just a lie, and that's what some people want you to believe. But I forget where I was going with all of this. Just, my faith in humanity is stronger than ever because there are more. I can clearly see that there are more good people coming out of the woodworks than there are little worms coming out of the woodworks, right? There's a lot of good people who are brainwashed too, and it's unfortunate, but hopefully they'll see the light. Sometimes you have to show your ugliest side before you see how ugly things are. I'm not trying to talk about that stuff. I just saw it was a thought. Robert Redford. Say RIP Robert Redford on your favorite Facebook page, and tell me if you get any backlash for that. If not, that just tells you what we already know. The people aren't actually upset that you're posting about Charlie Kirk over children in Gaza. They're just upset that you're posting about Charlie Kirk at all. Rest in peace, Mr. Kirk. Rest in peace, Mr. Redford. When is the next FOMC? I mean, it's today. It is happening right now. When will he talk? 2 p.m. Eastern time. Oh. See, I don't like this. See, I thought that that's poor timing then, guys. Come on. You're going to do this right in the middle of the FOMC meeting. Not financial advice, not a media advisor, but don't plan your meetings for something that involves a market of any kind, your ecosystem, during one of the most important market events of the month, which is the FOMC meeting. And there will be plenty of them, right? But that's going to probably take away. If you're wondering, Zebec Network, if you're wondering why there's not that many people in attendance or why they all leave 30 minutes after you start, it's because they're watching Jerome Powell talk. They're watching the wrinkled menace talk. Anyways, I actually don't think he's a menace. I think that he knows what he's doing, and in a good way. I think that the drop in interest rates slowly is actually better than it is worse. I think that if Jerome Powell were to get fired, or if he left earlier than his term was elected for, or selected for, I think that would have been a bad thing. I think the markets would have not liked that. That's why we saw the drop happen whenever Jerome Powell, whenever there's serious rumors going on that Jerome Powell would get fired. That's why the market reacted negatively. And once we figured out, he's not getting fired. Okay, that there's no way he's getting fired. That's why the markets came back up. Because whether you like him or not, serious market participants know he knows what he's doing, and in a way that's actually conducive to a healthy market ecosystem. Anyways, we can disagree about that all you want, right? But that's just my opinion. What do I know? I've been doing this for 10 years. Here we are, 00424 right now, getting back on track here, okay? Come on, guys. Work out your timing, damn it. That's not going to be good. You're going to be competing with Jerome Powell. I will definitely be tuning into that. But if we're looking at this here, I would think that, again, you could go a little bit lower, 00415, 004 itself, and then continue to rally, all right, continue to move up higher. We're looking at the daily time frame here, looking at that high to low right here. I mean, overall, I would very much expect that we're on a path higher. You'll find resistance at 005, 0051. 0052, whatever. Inevitably going higher. Once we see a daily close above these daily closes here, once we get up there, you guys, it's time to rip and run. It's time to rally. It's absolutely time to rally. If we look at this, let's see here. Hold on. High to low. The next target area, or the immediate target area to consider, would be about 1 cent to 1.5 cent, about there, right? Just below 1.5 cent, just below 1 cent. Once you break above 1.5 cent, we're going to the ultimate target destination, which is 2 cents to 4.5 cents. This is ultimately where I expect we'll be by the end of October. We should be getting this move ignited. This, when I say this move, I mean like this, right? Here we are, moving down, whatever, doing our thing. The move ignited here, right? This is when the move ignited overall. It started right here at your double bottom off your all-time lows. The move here did not start all the way back here, right? The move hasn't started yet. You're still in this consolidation phase, all right? Your move will ignite, will begin. The commencement starts in this month of September, before the 1st of October. So before this area here, before that line right there. I can't draw a straight line to save my life. I'm trying here. Let's see. It's easier whenever I draw it down. Oh, so close. Went off a little bit there, but you can see. That's the 1st of October. So between now and then, that'll be when this next move starts. This next move, which ultimately ends somewhere between 2 cents to 4.5 cents. I really think that we'll stop at 3 to 4.5 cents, something like that. But that'll probably happen in October, not by the end of September. The beginning of this move starts before this line. The end of this move starts, or comes in, I think, before this line. Oh, wow, that was straight, and that was all the way up. Look at that. That was perfect. Damn, that's good. So somewhere in this zone, that's when I think that we'll hit this zone here. At a minimum, we'd stop at 2 cents, 2.2 cents, but I really do think 3 to 4.5 cents is going to happen, if not more. And certainly as we progress through the year, as we go further into 2025, into the end of this year, into December, we are undoubtedly going to see higher prices. We are undoubtedly going to. So if you're getting excited, if you're shaking in your little bull boots right now, getting all excited that you're going to see a potential 7x to a 10x between now and the end of October, just wait, because it's going to get even better. You're probably going to see anything from a 14x to an 18x or more by the end of this year. And then you're going to continue to grow going into 2026. You're only going to see more growth. It's going to only get more spectacular. It's going to be great. Just be patient. And the reason why we're talking about this right now is to hopefully give people the conviction they need to not just sell at the first moment's pump, right? You get excited. Oh, we're at new all-time highs. I'm going to sell here. No, it's probably not going to correct. We're probably going to keep growing, right? Oh, we're at the target areas we discussed. I'm going to sell here. Oh, you can if you want to, but it's still going to keep growing, right? The people who bought here, they might feel silly now. If they held, and then honestly, people who bought here, they're emotional, so they're probably not still holding. If you're emotional at the top, you're going to be emotional at the bottom. But even if you bought the high, once you're up here, you're not going to care. And even if you don't sell the high there, and then it continues to grow, like it doesn't matter, right? It only matters momentarily. I think that the worst thing you can do at this point in time for the rest of the market is try to play the game. Just buy and hold. I'm a little too preachy today, so I'm going to end the video there. Hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. Zebec likely goes a little bit lower. We're thinking 004 for support, right? 00415, somewhere in that area. And then we go up. Right? Is it 00415? Let me double check that real quick here. 00415 to 004. Yeah. All right. Take care of yourselves. Hit that like button. Thank you all. Bye-bye.